Howdy folks, and welcome back to 15 Nautical Mile Arc. We are once again and the final time in the Winair Twin Otter, and we're going to be leaving St. Barts for the final time, landing at Princess Julianna where Winair has its headquarters, and we'll leave this thing there and move on. So we have a cold and dark airplane this time, so we're actually going to hop in and get ready for passengers. So we're going to turn on batteries since we do not have external power, and we'll get our lights ready to go here. And then we want that on arm. There we go. And then we will open up the doors for our passengers and let them start boarding. We'll keep our own doors closed this time, but we will turn on our no smoking and seatbelt lights. And I'll probably turn the strobe too since we're sitting here waiting. The first thing you want to do is you want to get our fuel managed here. So we have a very, very short flight, so let's just do about 0.8 here in case we have to go back for some reason. We'll leave that like that. Let's get our Garmin going. We're going to need that soon too. So let's get some dash lights turned on here so we can see what we're doing. Turn those on a little bit. It's easier to turn these on than turn them off for some reason. Let's turn on the fan too and turn on that. Alright, anything else we need up there? Not at the moment. Let's come back down here and let's get our Garmin happy. There we go. Alright, what are we going to do? We got to get our radios turned on, and we are going to use our radios today. I'm very excited about this. If I can get that on, and we're not using air traffic control, we'll do that anyway. So we are going to do the VOR approach to Princess Julianna, and the way that works from the east is you fly to the NDB, which is over the airfield, and then you do a 7 nautical mile DME arc while descending to 2,100 feet and catching the 96-degree radial to the VOR at the airport. And then as soon as you see the runway, which pretty much this radial brings you to the runway, you land visually. There's no ILS, there's no other instruments or anything. There is a tower, but they can't land for you. So but what we're going to do, because we're a small aircraft, is we're going to fly over the NDB about 3,000 feet. We'll come down and do more like a left traffic pattern, and we'll catch the radial at about 4 nautical miles, maybe 5, depending how I'm feeling. That's how we're going to do it. So we have to get our radios tuned. Now, I already tuned the ADF because this thing is really hard to tune. You have to really line up. You've got 3 layers here, and it's really hard. So you only have like 1 pixel to grab, and it takes forever when you're trying to tune this thing. So I already did that ahead of time. The other ones are a little bit easier though. So we want 113.0 on our see, this one's hard too. Hang on, let me zoom in again and see if we can figure this out. 113, there we go, 0.0, and move that over there. Alright, what that is going to do is it's going to tune this guy, and then we want to tune that to 96 degrees. And I can't see that far anymore. 96, oh there it is, I guess it was already there. 95, 96, there we go, good enough. That's about 97, but big deal. The runway heading though is about 100. It's runway 10 now, it used to be runway 9, now it's 10. They redid the runway markings on a lot of airports when the poles shifted recently. So anyway, this is what we'll do our VOR approach. We'll line this up until the last second, then we'll divert and land on the runway. And ADF will be over here. It's going to be that one, I believe. In fact, it's already pointing towards it. And that's all we need for our radios. Not using any autopilot today. None at all. And it is clear skies. Just like the previous video, the weather down here has been atrocious for the past couple days in real life. So if I use real world weather, in fact, they're probably not flying these little planes down there right now because there's actually wind shear and everything right now, and it just would not work even in the sim. So we're going to fly calm skies, clear skies this time, very, very far visibility, and we're just going to enjoy the sights. Props forward like usual because there are no prop sounds at feather. So we are ready to start this thing already. No, we're not. We got to get our passengers buckled in and ready to go. Alright, and already got their light, their seatbelt sign and stuff, yeah. Okay, now we'll turn these guys on. And I guess up is on and down is on for there. Okay, now we'll get this thing started. We'll do the igniters, and we'll get this thing started. We'll turn off those cabin lights at the end of the runway, by the way. There we go, we should have a spinning prop, and we do. And it returns to center on its own, so let's do the other side. And we have two props. Now when we taxi out of here, we have to go to the left. Because if we taxi in front of that hangar, we will catch on fire. Because there's a collision problem in the scenery. But we want to take off from here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to point that out, though. If we were to taxi right through here, we'd blow up. Alright, oh, look at those reflections. Wow, that's yummy. Alright, let's hop inside, and let's get everything else going here. So now we got to turn our generators to reset, and then on, and then reset, and on, and taxi light, because we'll be moving, and yada yada yada, and no de-icer today. I guess we can turn this up a little bit. So down is up, huh? Okay, whatever. And everything else is set the way I want it. And we are ready to taxi. We're actually going to do flaps down now because we have a very short taxi. We're going to do a 30 flap takeoff because it's such a short runway. And let's hop outside and taxi over. It's more fun to watch from the outside. And hopefully my paddles will cooperate. I've been working on them a little bit. They've been sticking on me. There you go. Oh yeah, it feels better. Good. And there's a big semi. Not sure he'd really be on the island. Maybe he would be, but not that big. There's a roundabout over there on top of the hill. He just went all the way around and he's coming back. That's kind of funny. Alright, runway 10. And I'm pretty sure that hill you see in the background there should really be at the end of this runway, not off to the side. Alright, we're going to make it. Yes, we are. And let's stop there. Set the parking brake a second. Come up here, turn off our cabin lights so it's nice and dark. There we go. Everybody's nervous, as they should be. And we'll turn our taxi light off, and we'll turn our landing lights on, and we'll start our clock. And there we go. And with that being said, let me check my checklist that I forget to check, even though I spent so much time working on it. We are ready to go. Parking brake off, holding the brakes, throttles forward, ready on the rudder paddles, letting go, and away we go. And did we have an engine problem again? No. I'm not sure what that was. I thought maybe it was a bird strike or something, but our engines are running, so I don't know what that noise was. Anyway, flaps up so we can get some altitude and get some speed here. And watch out for that land mass in front of us. I guess I should have been watching ahead of me instead of looking at my gauges. Oh well. There we go. And we're just going to keep our landing lights on for this one. This is such a short flight, we're not going to go very high. There we go, we can see St. Martin in front of us. So what we're going to do is we're going to round this island, and then we're just going to follow our ADF card all the way there until we get over the airport, and then we'll do an arc. Well, not really an arc, more like a left traffic pattern that isn't around the runway. Alright. 2,000 feet. I think we can see St. Barts if we look out the right window. Nope, it's behind us already. That's okay. There we have a nice look at the island and the airport. And then even though that's St. Martin, the airport's way on the other side from this angle. Alright, we're going to level off around 5,000 feet or so. And we're trimming out, still pointing directly at our ADF card. And then we'll just keep flying like this until we cross our airfield. And then we'll do our VOR approach. It won't be as exciting as it is in a big jetliner because we won't be catching it from so far away, but hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean a little bit by following the radial, which runs you trekking to the airport itself. And the airfield is in sight right there. We're going to fly right over it. All we have to do is follow our ADF card, and we'll start losing some altitude now, so we're about 3,000 feet when we cross that. I'm going to keep the speed up though. I don't want to slow down too much. Nor do I want to descend it too uncomfortably. And landing lights are already on. Yes, they are. Cabin lights are still off. Seatbelt signs are on. No flaps yet. No gear to manage. A quick look outside here before we have to completely manage more. Alright, 4,000 feet. Will be a little higher than I want it to be when we cross over it, but close enough, within a few hundred feet. Trying to keep our speed up. Actually, we will be crossing that 3,000 feet just as I planned. That is nice to know. So the other airfield is back here, where those hills dip down. There we go. 3,300, 3,200, 31, and 3,000. So we'll level off a little bit. Then we'll stay at 3,000 for a while. Then we'll come down, not 2,100, because that would be 7 miles out. We're going to go way lower than that, probably 500 or 600 when we intercept the radio. Can we see us flying over from the runway? From the airport, I mean? There we go, flying over with birds. Hopefully those birds aren't there when we try to land. See, there we are. Alright. Good. We're staying about 2,900 feet or so. That's good enough. So now if we look at our... oh, I didn't put the airport in here. I was going to use the airport for this. Can I do that now? Without crashing into anything? Go like that. And push that. We want, oops, Tango. I better look what we're doing here. Okay, good. Oops, straighten out there while I come back down here. Alright, so put that in there. Then we'll go, oops, come on. No. The big one, there we go. Then we'll stay direct to it, just so we can get our distance, see 3.9. So let's turn now. So even though I have everything in my radios, my ADF card and my nav, I meant to put that in my GPS as well so that I can get my distance. So we're 4.5, almost 5, so let's make our turn back now and we'll start coming down. We've climbed a little bit since I was not looking at what we were doing when I was adjusting the radio. There we go, killing the throttle. Still want to keep the speed up though. And 5.2, I think that says. Good, that's about where I wanted to be. Ascending 1,000 feet per minute. And we'll come in at an angle here to catch that radial. So the airport's right there, but I want to show you this, how this radial intercepts. So we'll keep coming down here. Hopefully we're not too close. Alright, it's moving. This will be a lot more effective when we do this in the 727 freighter soon, but you'll get the idea today. So we're going to catch this radial, which we're about to catch right now. And what this will do, see that? There's a runway. So you follow this radial, you just stay spot on, which we're going to line up even better. There we go, we are spot on. And basically you point towards the VOR, which is right there. So let's line up better. There we go. We are following the VOR exactly. Alright. And that's the VOR there. So then this basically lines us up with the runway, so that at the tip of the runway we're at the runway. So that's what we'll do. So now we're just going to rely on PAPI for our descent. So you get the idea. And now, in the jet, I would be going visual, but we're going so slow we can stay on the radial all the way in if we wanted to. Alright, we're about where we want to be, so we'll increase our throttle, keep our speed up yet. We don't need to slow down yet. Right, so now we're to the right because I'm following the radial, so now I'm going to adjust and go to the runway. So see, we're still on the radial, but we're a little to the right because there's the VOR. So now we're breaking free, see? Now we're not lined up anymore, but we're lined up with the runway. So it's a visual approach. No ILS in real life, no ILS in the sim, although I guess some people have modified it so there's ILS in the sim. Not sure why you want to do that. And we'll land 20-degree flap today because we have a very long runway. And there we go, a little bit of floaty. And I'm not too worried about grazing the beachcombers like you see in real life. That's more for jets. The little planes don't need to do that. Alrighty. Come down like this, and we'll kill throttle about now. Over the threshold we'll kill it. I still want to come down a little bit. Alright, now we'll just back off and smooth it out. Maybe land right at stall speed. There we go. We don't even need reversers. Alright. Excellent. Slow down a little bit more. These brakes are nuts. I have normal braking turned on and it just slams the nose into the ground. Look at that. Alright, we'll come out here and we'll get our lights set up and then we'll look at some replays. But we have to pass the stop sign here. Alright, so let's stop here for a second. Set the parking brake. We'll come up here and stop the clock. So 15 minutes and 7 seconds flight time. We'll come up here, turn on our taxi light. We can turn on the passenger cabin lights so they can start gathering their belongings, and we'll turn off the landing lights. And we'll look at some replays, and then we'll taxi back. Alright, we're coming over the beach. And we're just going to smooth out and have a nice, smooth, non-dramatic landing. Look at that, just above stall speed. There we go. Not terribly exciting in a good way. Let's have a look out the passenger window. Alright, I think this is a slightly more interesting view here. There we go. Now the tower here is also the same tower that controls St. Barts, I believe. There's our freighter friends. That's where we'll be ending up when we fly the freighter here. Alright. Uneventful in a good way, like I said. Let's head back to real time. Alright, we're just going to taxi away from the outside. We already set our lights the way we needed them. We probably could have turned some of the flashing lights off right now, but that's fine. So I don't actually remember where Winair's headquarters are at this airport. I just know that they are at this airport. So we're going to go to that blue hangar and call it a day. I could have done some research, I guess, but that's okay. They're going a little bit better here. I swear at different airports the friction is different. And there's issue with how much throttle you need to get going. Alright, let's see. Oh, there's some deer. Alright, let's just head this way here. Get those flaps in too. There you go. Look out, buddy. How did you get on this island anyway? Alright, ready for the brakes? Oofda. Oh boy. Alright. Hang on. We're stopping. There you go. Parking brakes set. We'll immediately turn off our throttles here. And we'll come down here. Let's turn off our Garmin because that takes a second. Let's come up here. Anything else we need to turn off? We can turn all this stuff off right now. We don't want the passengers to get out quite yet. Not until the props have stopped spinning. Alright, now I can turn that. And that's already on. Everything is already the way we want it. And now let's let everybody out. In fact, our co-pilot really has to go to the bathroom, so let's let her out that way. And I would like some fresh air. Alright, so everybody's deboarding. And our flight time is 15 minutes and 7 seconds. So let's reset that. There we go. Alright, everybody's off, so let's turn everything off. We would hook up to external power if it were modeled, but it's not. So as soon as you turn off this battery, it all goes dark. But that is just fine. Alright, folks, hope you enjoyed it. We will be flying the Twin Otter again, but we're going to hang up the Winair Twin Otter. They only fly in this part of the world, and we are done doing these little flights in this part of the world. It's time to move on. There's a lot of Earth left. We are, however, going to do a quick flight in the freighter from San Juan to here, but that's just because I want to graze that beach as low as I can in a big 727. But other than that, say goodbye to this guy, this livery anyway. And I hope you enjoy these flights in the Caribbean. I really, really did. Hope it wasn't too much of a good thing. I did try to spread them out a little bit with other flights in between. So if you found me on accident, please subscribe. If you are a regular subscriber, thank you for your continuing support. And I really enjoy doing this for you all, and I enjoy the comments. And this has been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to keep building this channel. And if you have any comments or suggestions for flights that are under 90 minutes, please leave them in the comments section. And that's just because in real life I can't fly anything longer than that. So that being said, let's say goodbye to Winair. And I'll catch you on the next one.